Hey everyone. All right, so in this training or video, I should say, we're going to talk about no one to change but self. And let's really start understanding everyone as you pushed out even deeper. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, a conscious life and success coach, and I'm really happy to be here with you today. I took a Monday off of obviously making a YouTube video, but I am fucking back to drop some more truth for you. So before we dive into talking about no one to change but self, I just want to remind you, if you feel like you need additional support in, overcoming some of this old programming, then I am definitely your girl to help you. I have, courses. I have You Are the Prize, all about self-concept and self-love when it comes to relationships. I also have the online course, How to Manifest Your SP Back and Keep Them for Good. I also have, different ways to work with me in a group setting. I have a VIP group coaching program where we jump on live Zoom videos as a group twice a month to really support you in question and answers and coaching to keep you moving on the track you need to be on so that you can manifest the most amazing life for yourself, especially in love. And then I do have the paid Facebook group as well. So I have a link below. It's my master list of the services that I'm providing now. So check it out if you're interested. Okay, so let's talk about this concept. This is what Neville talks about quite a bit. And it's really powerful and it's really important. And it really ties into everything that's fucking, that we're talking about, right? It ties into everyone as you pushed out. It ties into these beautiful spiritual law of assumption and how powerful we truly are. And when you look at that there is no one to change but self, it is so fucking true. And so many times when people are, in the beginning stages of wanting to manifest an X-Back or their SP, they go through this process of not really understanding this concept deep, right? They tend to understand on an intellectual level, which is why this is a process, because everybody goes through this and it's an internal transformational experience, which means everybody will hit different levels in this process when they do. It's not, cookie size or cookie cutter shit where everybody has to do these steps and they'll feel this way through the process. Everyone is different. Okay, so when we talk about no one to change but self, what you're really talking about is that since your consciousness creates your reality, it's your awareness, it's your focus, it is what your perspective is of yourself, of the person or the situation in your life. So this is where no one to change but self is about you changing this perspective, you changing this story, this programming. And that is why there is no one to change but self. Now, as you conform to this new story, this new role for you, this new perspective of this person or this new perspective of, your outlook on life or money or whatever the situation is, it doesn't matter. It's all the same process. It's understanding you have to change your perspective internally first so you can see it different. So then the 3D conforms, everything starts to shift and mold to match your new perspective. Now, sometimes we have to persist longer in the new perspective before it comes into full manifestation, but that is okay. That just means that you needed to solidify and harden into fact more of this new perspective, that it took a little bit more, rewiring or reinforcing the new story until it became more dominant over the old story, right? And that's all you're doing. So this is why we always say, as coaches, right? You're not changing the person. I mean, you kind of are, but you're really changing yourself and they just kind of conform because that's how it works. So this is why you don't want to keep looking at the 3D and checking the temperature every second of the day all the time to see is it working? Did they change that? Or they've only changed here, but they haven't gone there. It's no one to change but self. You still then, since they are mirror reflecting to you your perspective of who they are, your perspective of yourself in regards to them, that means you need to keep persisting in the new perspective. No one to change but self. And this is why it's such a beautiful transformational experience, because it really is you getting out of your own way. It really is you learning how to stop rejecting your own self and you Stop creating versions of people who don't want you. And this is why self-concept is so important, because you have to understand that when you have a self-concept that I'm not chosen, I'm not wanted, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm rejected, I'm not getting what I want, I'm powerless, whatever, right? Then your perspective, your eyes are filtering out your world through that perspective of you. So you will always seek the evidence, no matter what an SP is doing or no matter how much money is coming in. You're going to seek the evidence to support your self-concept, which says, I don't deserve this, or I'm not worthy of this, or I don't trust this, this isn't going to stay. And so then you continuously create the cycles where you don't get what you want, right? So self-concept is so, so important. And you really need to be focusing heavily on changing your perspective of you so that your people in your life will conform and see you the same way and reflect that story back to you too. So again, no one to change but self. If you don't like what you're experiencing, it isn't about going outside of you and setting, an ultimatum or, threatening someone, right? Like that stuff doesn't work. If it did, none of us would be here. All of us would have already gotten what we wanted and still be in it with that person from 20 years ago, okay? That doesn't work. It does not work. It does not work. So just give up fucking trying, okay? No one to change but self. You have to go within and refocus, recalibrate your perspective on who this person is. How do you want them to show up for you? What is it that you want to experience from them? You have to change your perspective of them, change your perspective of your circumstances. You always want to change your perspective of your circumstances. You have to learn how to train yourself to shut off the 3D. So some of you that live with someone, like if you have a difficult family member or even your SP and there isn't a lot of harmony, then what I would suggest is, because sometimes it can feel like it's harder when you're like under the same roof and you don't really have a lot of time apart. Obviously, if you work out of your house, you will have separate time. But what you can do is create space in the house where you can shut your senses off, like whether you put music on, you have headphones on, and you go into a different part of the room for an hour a day or something, where you can really focus on your perspective, your new self-concept of you, where you can really focus on your new perspective of them and the life that you want to manifest, and really help you get that momentum going, because that's an escapism, a way for you to turn off the five senses until you get better and better at not reacting to whatever the 3D's, showing up right in your face if you're stuck in the same house with someone. I shouldn't say stuck. If you're, under the same roof with someone. So this is how little tricks you can do to kind of help yourself. But other than that, it's really about, again, no one to change myself. I'm going to fucking say it like 100 times in this video because it's so important, because this whole game and what I've always said is about you. It's about how you see yourself. It's about what you're assuming is happening. And when you don't see yourself in a favorable way, then you're always going to lean towards seeing yourself and assuming that things aren't unfolding favorably for you. Because if you have a low self-concept and you think like, oh, they're not going to want me, they're going to want someone else, they're da-da-da-da-da, then you're going to keep looking for that. You're going to keep affirming that in the back of your fucking mind or in the front part of your mind, and it's going to keep manifesting. And so this is the work to do. This is why it isn't for the faint-hearted, but it's the most rewarding experience ever, as painful, or I don't even like to use the word painful. It's the most rewarding work, because once you overcome yourself, then you've overcome yourself. It's like once you learn how to drive stick, forever. So once you've actually overcome your old programming and your old perspectives, it's on like Donkey Kong, right? Like you're gonna be fucking unstoppable. Like you're not gonna have to go through this experience anymore. This is why it's a process. This is why most people, when they manifest their SPs in, they go through different cycles, because it's such a process of overcoming the old programming, overcoming the old perspective of you and them and what's happening, until it clicks for you, and it'll keep clicking and clicking. And then at some point you're really gonna fucking get it. You're gonna double the fuck down, and you're really going to not react mentally as much as possible to any circumstances in the 3D that you don't like, and keep the dominant focus on the perspective of you and the perspective of them and the perspective of whatever you want to change in your life that's favorable for you. So really always, when you find yourself looking outside of you, getting angry at the SP or frustrated that, your boss isn't changing, whatever, right? You got to take a deep breath, go within, because no one to change but self. and keep focusing on your thoughts, your perspective of what the fuck is happening, your perspective of who you are in this experience, in this subject of your life, and keep reaffirming the one that you want to experience. So you have to change how you see yourself. If you are feeling you're not valued, if you're feeling you're not appreciated, you're not chosen, then you need to affirm a new story that I'm appreciated, valued, and chosen, right? This is how everyone shows up for me in my life. They always value me. They always appreciate me. They always choose me. And because everyone is you pushed out, your 3D will conform and people will start to reflect that. They will see you that way. They will treat you as such. So I really hope you found this video helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.